So we're going to take a look at the two redesigns of my context engineer script into web apps. This is the Sonnets version, and this is GPT-5's version. We're going to run these, but just to explain, the context engineer is a script which answers any question or takes in any topic and creates as many questions as you specify and answers all of them using web search and then actually creates a report, a final report or context such as this, which you then can use to feed it to an LLM and ask questions about it or use it as a report. So this script is actually quite complex and it does a lot of little things. It is about 600 lines of code. But it does a lot of things like calculate the token usage in both in tokens and dollar amounts, a lot of directory structuring, two different agents that one that creates questions, another one that answers it. So there are a lot of little moving parts to it. And I actually just asked both GPT-5 and to Sonnet the same question, literally just to convert it into a beautiful fast API app, the same prompt, and this is what they look like. This is the version that GPT-5 came up with, and this is the one that Sonnet came up with. Now we're going to use this board to rate them and see which one actually comes out on top. First of all, let's take a look at design quality. So this is very subjective. I think Sonnet did a much better job as far as the colors. I'm not a designer, but this looks more pleasant to me. So obviously this goes to Sonnet. But of course, this is also beautiful in a way because it fits right there. Everything is in front of your eyes versus here you have to scroll. So this is a bit undesirable. I think depending on the person who's using it, they might choose one or the other. But I mean, obviously, we can give it a pass to GPT-5, but let's give Sonnet a double pass for this. It definitely had a better eye. Like, look at the cost of the tokens here. There is also the advanced options hidden under here. So I think Sonnet gets this one. So our next criteria is going to be UX quality. But before we do that, let's actually run it. So the way the context engineer works is you can enter any topic. For example, let's enter AI accelerator demand to both of them. And then you can choose a purpose. For example, we can say here, for example, energy consumption. So we want to research this topic uh, with energy consumption in mind. So here, unfortunately, Sonnet does not allow us to enter custom purpose. We can actually. No, this is very good. But it also entered a bunch of uh, default topics that we could have chosen for purpose. And then you can also enter a time frame so that you can constrict this research process, the context generation process, to let's say last 6 months. You can write this any way you like. For example, you can give it a time frame such as from this year to that year, or you can say something like during Great Depression, uh, last 6 months, and then we can. The GPT version allows us to actually adjust the total questions to ask versus Sonnet's version does not, but it gives an option to generate answers and remove citations because we do remove the citations from the final report. Although in each one of the answers the citations are there, this is an option you can turn on and off in the script itself. So these options were there, and I did not give additional instructions. This was a very general prompt, so I allowed models to actually choose their way. So removing citations is actually an option. Enabling web search during the answering process or question generation process are an option. Reasoning effort is an option, for example. Service tier from OpenAI is an option. But the Sonnets version does not allow us to change that, but generate answers toggle and remove citations toggle versus GPT-5 allows us to pick the questions, choose whether to use web search or not, and generate whether to generate answers right away. it lists these other options here, but does not allow us to change it. So once we have entered our information, we can press generate, and you'll notice that actually it has begun the process, but it doesn't show us any indication. For example, GPT-5 versus if we start Sonnet's version, it creates this nice little UI. It says initializing, and it has a progress bar along with the cost. So this is obviously much better. So let's now come back here and say layout. The layout, I actually like this layout now. I don't like the design of the layout, but I like that everything just fits and I don't have to scroll. Versus I have to scroll with Sonnet. See here, once the questions were generated, it actually printed displays us the questions versus GPT-5 does not. So this is obviously subjective. Again, for layout, I'm going to give GPT-5 a pass and also Sonnet a pass, but I personally would have preferred Sonnet to do it like this, but with these nice colors and gradients. But what are you going to do? Also, it also added a little brain icon right here. That's a nice touch. Okay, so next options. So both of them offered options, but they chose different options. I think GPT-5 offered more options, more useful options than Sonnet did. Although it did add this nice little extra here. So this is again a tough one. So I'm just going to then give GPT-5 and Sonnet a pass in this. So now waiting animation, obviously there is no indication here that we are waiting. Although if we look at the terminal, we can see that process is actually taking place. Versus Sonnet actually not only displays these questions, but actually it makes the progress bar go. All answers generated. We kind of missed it, but this progress bar actually works. And the answers are generated. We can download the answers, but it does not display the answers. But this one obviously goes to Sonnet 100% because GPT-5 did not display the waiting animation. The process progress, obviously this is a multi-step progress. Okay, so GPT-5 is just done, and its final screen I actually like. Here you get to see all the input tokens that are consumed. This is for question generation and answer tokens. How many web search tool calls were made, and here are the costs. So this one is a little bit jumbled. At the end, it does display the questions, and it actually displays the final report. Versus Sonnet does not display it, but process progress goes to Sonnet because GPT-5 did not display at all. Details, I guess, is in the displaying of the tokens and whatnot. Sonnet displays the cost at the top, and it actually updates it progressively, I believe. But I think GPT-5 does a better job of breaking it down here because we can see the dollar cost plus the token usage more detailed. So we can give GPT-5 a double approval and a single approval for Sonnet, maybe. Um, Now, let's add one more thing here, but let's do this adherence to the original script. So the original script, when ran, actually created these folders. For example, if your topic was NVIDIA, it creates NVIDIA. If you enter a purpose or time frame, it's designed to create these folders with a sanitized name, created name, versus Sonnet outputs this into an output folder right here, AI accelerator demand. And well, that's nice because under the output folder, it actually names it. Perhaps Sonnet is a little bit better, actually. So they both actually implemented that. Maybe we can give them both a pass. Although maybe Sonnet gets a double pass because it organized it a little bit better. So maybe we can also say the final result display. I think GPT-5 gets a double in this one, and Sonnet gets a single because of the fact that if you look here, the all the questions are displayed and the final report is displayed along with the download button versus Sonnet did display the questions. Actually, that was nice, but it did not display the final report. Although, and there's no option to download the final report. So maybe, yeah, well, that's why we're giving GPT-5 a double pass and Sonnet for a single pass. So this is pretty difficult, obviously, very, very subjective, but Sonnet did not fail in any place. Although if you count the score, GPT-5 got 8, and Sonnet got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So Sonnet actually wins this handily. I just wish Sonnet's general design is very wide, like very scrollable. This is the thing. I guess maybe if you give it the right prompt, it'll build it like how GPT-5 did. If you come to, I really like the compactness of it, that I don't have to scroll. But overall, I think Sonnet wins this one. I did two other comparisons before, and both times GPT-5 won, but this one goes to Sonnet. I hope you enjoyed this, and the code files for this, including the web apps, are available at my Patreon. If you're watching this from YouTube or Twitter, you'll be able to find the link in a comment and in the description. Thank you for watching.